Now let's talk about some of the things we can do with an array, and this is entitled Array Data. So in this video I want to show you how we can look into the array, get different properties, execute certain methods against the array, and see what's going on, because again, a lot of people don't like these or aren't comfortable with them, and I'm convinced it's because they don't really haven't explored all the opportunities they have to look into these things. What they see is a variable with all this data in it, and they kind of get lost on where the data is and so forth. So I just want to show you a couple of things here, and notice I'm using the same VTC array project and solution that we created back in the using an array video, and I've just basically erased all the code except for the actual creation of the array. So we're going to use the same array here, but what I'm going to do is just put a message box, and I'm going to show, and we're going to have to convert each one of these to a string so that we can see them. But notice I'm going to put the name of my array, put a period, and the first thing, we've already done this before, is look at the length of the array. Okay, and this will tell us how many data items are stored in there, and I'm going to put a caption on here so that we can see what's going on when these message boxes pop up. And the length of this, right, should be 7. I'm just going to comment that so that we can see it, because what we should see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in our array. Okay, and so what I want to do is come down here, and I'm actually just going to copy this so you don't have to watch me type this stuff every time. And let's look at some of the other properties and methods that we can look at here. Let's look at a method. There is a method here called, well, I want you to see this. Notice if I start typing sum, and if I just call sum, it will actually go out and it will sum all the values in that array. And I actually went out and did this already. It comes to 40, and you'll see that. And another method that we can do, we can average all the values. And let me go back and pull that. And you'll notice that there's average, and we can pull that. And I'll just put average. And the average of this, believe it or not, is somewhere around 5.7. of all those values. And then let's see, what else can we do? Oh, this is a great one. Sometimes you need to know, okay, what's the highest value that I have? Well, we can call the max method. Okay. And we'll see the max value. And that's easy to see here, right? It's going to be 9. And so we will put that in there. We can also do the minimum. So if we want to know what's the smallest size data value that we have stored in our array, we can pull the minimum. And I will change this to min value in the array, and you can easily see here that that's going to be 2, should be 2. And if we're thinking straight and coding right, should come out to that. Let's look at one other thing, and this is a really cool one. Notice I'm going to choose element at, and I can choose element at, and I can say the third location, okay, or the third index location. And that is actually going to be the 4th value in the array. Does that make sense? Let me show you here, because the element at 3, notice this would be 0, 1, 2, 3. So the value at element 3 is actually going to be the 4th value because we start at 0. And so that should be 9. We'll have to check that and make sure that we're thinking right. And then I'll just do one more in case you're still awake. You can watch this. This is another great one. And this is called get upper bounds. And so when you hit this, you can hit get upper bound. And I'll just put a 0 in here. And then we'll have to make sure we put enough parentheses in there. Get upper bound means the highest index value in our array. Okay, and obviously our highest index value, since we're in a 7-member array, right, should be what? Number 6, right? Because they started at 0. So our index values go 0 to 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now let's run this and just start to step through our various attributes. Let me pull this up so we can see it and then go back to my form. Now let me move that up out of the way. Let's click it and let's move our box. So the length is 7. So this ran and showed us that the length, there are 7 items in the array. The sum is 40. It added all these numbers up and it came to 40. Okay. The average of all of them together came to about 5.714, blah, blah, blah. The maximum value in our array is 9. Whoop, I made it go away right there. The minimum value, you'll notice, is 2, and we pulled that right here on this one. Let's hit and go to the next one. The element at 3 is 9. And again, 0, 1, 2, 3. So we see the element at 3. And then the highest index is 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can get a lot of information out of your index by using these properties and methods. Now there's a lot to read about and you can go investigate these further. But once you start using arrays, very easy to jump in there and see what's happening with these things. Okay, so go play with this. Go look at some code examples out on the internet with them if you would like. But again, once you start dropping data into arrays, it's very, very easy and fast to manipulate that data and to read it and do all kind of cool things with it.